Hello, everybody. It is June 26th, 2026, and we're here with AI and nonsense stories for the end of your week.
62626.
Yeah.
Do you know there was a festival on June 7th at 6:07 p.m. in
No.
New York?
Mm-hmm.
That's, 6-7.
Like, that was the thing that people did. They gathered in mass.
But that's very like Eastern Kentucky code, because I feel like we have festivals for everything. The woolly worm, the mushrooms, trees.
We probably will never have a 6-7 festival.
No, that's true.
Well, let's talk about AI, which I cannot transition into from that.
No.
And let's talk about the reality of AI, which is they're not making any money. And this fellow, Ed Zitron, decided to do some gumshoe work and figure out exactly how much money they don't have.
OpenAI loses increased nearly 8x in 2025, with spending hitting $34 billion.
Was it 6 times? Was it 7 times? No. It was 8.
If I sorted this correctly, I did. Some other numbers are coming out, which has to do with your subscription plan, because you might be like, oh, the subscription plan, that's kind of the pleb tier, right? It tells me I've used too much, but the reality is it lets you get away with far more because it's counting on not everybody doing that.
A $200 ChatGPT subscription could cost OpenAI $14,000 if it's used to its full potential. And the article eventually points out that doesn't even include the frontier models. Now, I think this is a little overstated, because you can still use like the older models, and like the disparity here will eventually not matter. Remember like the old internet days where you only had so much download or so many hours or whatever, and then they went to unlimited, but nobody actually used it in an unlimited way, and it was basically fine. This is probably basically fine, but the cost per token has to come way down.
Yeah, and most people are probably, well, actually, I think this story had the charts, right? And they actually broke it down.
Just 16% of Americans think AI will benefit society, despite the chatbot use climbing to 49% of U.S. adults. Now, I'm firmly in the 16% category, but I'm not in the 16% category if the qualifier is that Dario or Altman are going to lead the way.
I like how we get the 4 down here for companionship.
Also, they do have it broken down by category. Like, I can see it being useful for certain. There are things I think it's useful for, but.
And if that's really a crisis, like if they are burning money on the subscriptions, ChatGPT is burning multiples of Anthropic. So Anthropic's unpopularity is actually an asset to them in that race. Right? But yeah, people are using AI. They're just not sure how they feel about it. They're afraid of it, but there is some allure there as well. I guess it's kind of like drugs. And Krista,
I'm definitely feeling it.
Krista, I know that you are super hyped about this.
Photoshop and Premiere now have AI assistants. I just don't think this is going to be the way that Adobe wins. Like,
They're not going to win the war with this.
It's amazing how the sentiment for Photoshop and Premiere has shifted. Like
they just get in your way. That's what makes me mad. 5
or 10 years ago, like creative types were unhappy that Adobe was moving to a subscription, but I don't think it was tolerated. It was like, okay, this is fine. And now Adobe is one of the most hated companies on the planet. They might be more hated than Microsoft.
The subscription model, like, it was never good, but it's especially bad because I feel like you get kicked out of it a lot, and like the cloud always needs to be updated, and there's always like maintenance stuff you have to do with it before you can just go in and edit an image. And now they've added this AI assistant crap, so you're constantly getting like pings popping up that are like, hey, do you want to use a Photoshop, like this new tool? And I'm like, no, I just need to crop an image. That's all I need to do.
The theme that I'm also hearing is anybody that has used the Adobe products for more than 5 years, things that used to be free are no longer free. And so it's not that even that they're using the subscription money to improve the product.
They're definitely not.
They're taking things away and making it more expensive, which is a great way to just light your customer goodwill on fire.
Yeah, I avoid opening the Adobe suite unless I absolutely have to.
Think about this. Adobe and Alphabet are both companies that had software that became a ubiquitous verb in everybody's life. Photoshop and Google. They've both fumbled that. They took the greatest PR accomplishment that you can get. It's like Kleenex. You are the thing. You're what people call it. And now they're like, No, I'd rather not have that.
I really want to tank that goodwill and also tank the product.
I will have a tissue, please. And one of those men who runs one of those companies has gone to do a keynote address. And as usual, the children, well, I don't know if we can call them children, the young adults are not having it.
Dozens walk out as Google boss Pichai addresses Stanford graduates. Sundar Pichai. He made a couple. This article is actually terrible. You should really dig into what actually happened here at Stanford. The Stanford graduates were not walking out because they're Luddites. They were walking out because they think that Sundar Pichai is not doing enough for Google and Gemini, the AI tools that they're building, being turned into tools of oppression.
Also, I think it was more than just like a dozen too. Wasn't it like 200 students?
Yeah.
It's a pretty hefty chunk.
It's not like a lot of the time with the reaction to AI seems like it's some just sort of knee-jerk neo-Luddite kind of a thing. And that, I mean, this is Stanford. And that, if you dig into it, that's not what happened at Stanford at all. It was very much like, the Office 365 is being used to murder people. It's like Google products are being used to murder people. Why aren't you doing anything about this?
And those college students are basically living in the fire, right? Like they're experiencing it
It's fine, yeah.
in a way that cannot be ignored. But most of us can ignore it. We're separated from it. We didn't grow up in it. But it is inching its way into all aspects of our life.
Patients are bringing AI to therapy. Highlights from the 2026 Chatbox Mental Health Survey. Again, this is a survey, so you're starting from not a great place for it being a survey. But the therapists themselves, it's like, as a therapist, do you use a chatbot as a tool for your patients? And it's like an alarmingly high number of yeses there.
And all of the data points in terms of AI's effect on society are pretty one-sided, but you will get the rare study that's like, no, it's actually going to be good for us. And no, the data centers are actually a good thing. They don't use water.
The 16%ers.
And now we have this man who, I
gotta say, I'm not feeling good about my side with his arguments.
He's accomplished a lot, but I think he might have a bias here.
Jeff Bezos says that AI will actually lead to job shortages in an optimistic talk. He talks about how there's a bunch of things that AI can't do, and this is going to create more opportunity for more people because AI can be used to bring your skill level up, and then you'll be able to do the thing that the AI can't do, which is probably going to be an increasingly vanishingly small amount of things.
And when you look at the world today and you see some of the madness that's going on,
This is one of my favorite articles.
You say to yourself, what could explain this? Because on the surface, it doesn't seem like there's anything that could explain this. Well, Wired has done an expose that might actually explain a lot. You know what? There's a lot of red string being connected in this article.
The Wired headline is Leak exposes members of Peter Thiel's secretive Dialog society. So if you've ever watched the Mike Myers movie, So I Married an Axe Murderer, it turns out it wasn't Colonel Sanders. It was Peter Thiel the whole time.
The like panels they describe in this article, the talks that were going to be given, I read the titles and I was like, these people are losers.
But there's only going to be 200 people there, Krista, and that represents like 99% of the Earth's wealth.
Oh, you say they're losers, but they are very successful.
But one of the panels is, how's your sex life?
There was also a dating app built into it.
I saw that.
The dark, like, it's so dark, Krista. Krista doesn't even realize that the subtext of that particular talk is now that Epstein is gone.
Oh yeah. How do we fill this gap? There was another one that was like, money can't buy happiness. I can't remember. It was something along those lines.
Can.
Okay.
Yeah, they were selling that. If you're a billionaire megalomaniac, do you want to date other billionaire megalomaniacs?
It seems like that would be tedious.
I think I would just go with like a Hooters waitress. Something like that. Also, calling this dialogue, I'm considering litigation because my secret society, the Church of the Inner Monologue, pre-existed this.
Well, it's monologue, not dialogue.
Yeah, but people are going to get confused.
That's true.
I think a good lawyer could make my case.
What would the discussion topics be at your weekend retreat?
Well, they wouldn't have a dating app because so far there's no women.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. And Google's AI, it continues to exist. And you know what? That whole argument about burning too many tokens on the subscriptions, apparently the Google search is really bad for that. Like Google is losing money every time you search, but it's also losing credibility.
Google's AI overviews feature is telling users that SCP horror fiction entities are real. One of them apparently is a biological anomaly that is a severed head in which the gray matter, the cerebral matter, has reshaped into tentacles, and it crawls around
Crab
the,
legs, actually.
yeah, and it crawls around the ocean floor eating dead fish. And the AI overview is like, oh yeah, this is an anomaly that's been studied in the ocean. We haven't figured it out.
Describing it perfectly.
We used DNA matching to figure out who it was.
So if you're not familiar with SCP, oh boy, you have a lot of fun reading ahead of you. But it's written in a very sterile scientific format, because the whole idea is, it's a group of scientists who are studying these anomalies. And so apparently Gemini, when it sees that, it's like, oh, there's a scientific
real.
text. It doesn't notice the impossibilities that are being offered in those texts. And the robot car revolution continues to rage on, and now we have a new entrant.
Mobileye is entering the U.S. robotaxi market with standalone service. You might remember Mobileye, the Intel partnership from, gosh, that was going back to like 2018. Intel showed some self-driving. Mobileye has not picked what city they're going into, but they're going to start with a fleet of, 100 taxis? And we'll have more details. But right now, this is just a PR fluff piece.
They're doing, I think it said radar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Radar and camera, unlike Tesla, who's camera only. And I guess Waymo's LiDAR, right?
I mean, I was going to say this is just blatant stock market manipulation, but Mobileye has been doing this for a long time, and they probably do have some legit technology here. Otherwise, I would have been, my sus meter was just pegged on this one.
Now, I was captivated recently by the, what was the name of the robot company that was sorting the packages?
Oh, I remember.
Figure?
That was
Yeah.
2 weeks ago. How
Figure,
can we
yeah.
possibly remember the next gag?
A lot of people had some accusations that might not have been fully autonomous. There might have been some clues. This story definitely would lead us down that path.
Operating a humanoid with your body is a hot job in China's hardware capital. Yeah, this is not... Jensen already talked about this on stage. He was very candid. It might not have made sense at the time, but you can take real data from people operating these humanoid robots and then expand it. You could take, say 1,000 hours of a human operating a robot doing the right thing and expand that into 100,000 hours of training data. And then that becomes very, very useful for AI that is being trained in manipulation. And that's what is generating these data sets. It's like a chicken and egg problem with that kind of data. And once we've got the data, we won't need the humans anymore.
Which begs the question, every time we see an exciting new humanoid robot, is it really robotics, or is this just telepresence? And we can't be for sure. For example, this.
A convenience store run by a humanoid robot is launching in Hong Kong. This is in an ungodly number of video games. This is in Deus Ex. It's like the little bodega that's run by robots.
Fallout.
Yeah.
Yep.
The game we're playing right now, Planes of Pain.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
It's the two robots, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, robots running stores is an obvious use for them because it's a job that a lot of people don't want to sit and do all day. But then they will run the robot that runs the store. But I'll play video games where I do mundane jobs too. So maybe if that layer of abstraction is all we need.
We're literally doing jobs for those two robots right now.
What if you're playing Fallout, but then somebody comes into your store and it's like a bing bong in the middle of the game, and then you're not playing Fallout anymore. You're running the robot for the person in the store. And as soon as the person is gone from the store, you're back in Fallout.
Yeah, I could see a lot of people just easing into that prison.
Yeah.
Do I get like some slurry fed to me 3 or 4 times a day? Some Brondo? Now, moving into the nonsense section, and this is my new favorite topic. I love it, and there is no shortage of it. I don't know.
There's part of me that wants to not believe it's true.
The professor talks about that.
Yeah.
It seems too much, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to encompass this. Much like, as I mentioned, the church and inner monologue, I cannot comprehend somebody that doesn't have a voice in their head. I can't do it. And I also can't comprehend this.
College students are rapidly losing the ability to read. This has some amazing quotes from a college professor where he's like, a couple of years ago, this was just a hunch, but now I have empirical data because I've got the test scores and I've been tracking it and putting a little scientific study together. And oh boy, college students are rapidly losing the ability to read and comprehend.
Also, it's wild that there's an ad. I mean, it's not now, but a second ago there was a Sally Mae ad on the side of the screen.
And this is a guy who's been doing this for a long time, so he can compare semester over semester. And he's like, yeah, like an article, not a book, an article, which I've never even thought about before. It's just like, oh, hey, yeah, let's read this article. And they can't do it. How is this possible? How did admissions allow these people into higher education?
They're going to be running the robot bodega soon.
Does that mean the robots are not going to be able to read?
The robots are going to be able to read better.
You think this is a 2 for $5 deal, and it's like, I don't know what that means.
You will be able to Jedi mind trick the robots because there's an illiterate college student on the other end. In the nonsense sections, we cover a lot of reprehensible individuals. I think this guy's in the running for at least the top 5.
Yeah.
This is a special kind of horror.
I don't want to.
I'll
I
read
don't
it.
want to be demonetized again. But okay, go ahead.
Repeat offender with diarrhea fetish jailed for targeting boys in secondary school.
This is apparently South Korea. Rami never visit South Korea. And he's only going to jail for 6 years.
That is
It
a
seems
weird.
so low.
I mean, a crime against children is
Yeah.
usually like I don't know, but it wasn't. It was sexual, kind of. He seemed to have a fetish for this. So here's what he would do.
don't understand that.
He would get on WhatsApp. He would troll young boys, and they'd be like, "Oh, guess who it is? It's your favorite classmate." And then they would make a guess, and whatever name they said, he was like, "Yeah, that's me." And then he'd be like, "Hey, I'm going to send you a package, and I want you to eat what's in that package and report back to me what happens to your body." And some of these kids were like, "All right, I'll do that." Like,
It was laxative and stomach cramps.
Oh,
You could dehydrate yourself really bad too. So again, 6 years doesn't seem like it's enough.
And so he got away with this for an astonishingly long time. And then one of these kids later on actually ran into his old school buddy. And he was like,
Why did you
"Dude,
send me a
what's up with
package?"
the laxatives?" And the guy's like, "What?" And so they found him out. And they found out he's been doing this for a very long time. And he would also try to get them to send pictures of themselves, which many of them also did.
What if you have such a high trust society you can't conceive of someone so broken?
Well,
why would they ask? Well, you don't even have the idle curiosity of like, why would somebody ask me to do this? Like,
I've never heard of that fetish before. Have you?
no.
I can't conceive it. Now, you might think that was the worst.
We covered this when this happened.
The worst poop story. Well, he did it again.
Yeah.
And it is the worst. Yeah, that's true. But there is a very close runner-up.
Former San Antonio cop who fed homeless man the poop sandwich that we did, like you might remember it if you've been with us a long time. He was dismissed from his original position. He went to a new position. He has since been promoted. Good job on person who did not let that go and has done an article.
Scroll down so we can see his face. So everyone knows who he is.
Yeah.
What would you call that grin?
Evil.
He's been promoted to sheriff. He is now the sheriff of a small town. Now, the poop sandwich is not what got him fired. He actually got off of that with a technicality. But then there was
Good way like to expand that thought after our last story about.
But then after that, there was some kind of internal strife about the women's restroom. Like some of the women cops were, I don't know, I guess they wanted more privacy or whatever. So his solution to that was to use the facilities, not flush anything, and then smear on the walls. This man is a sheriff now. Think about that.
I don't want to think about that.
And I know what you're saying.
Well, there's so many ads.
Oh,
do you want to allow
okay,
alerts? Do you
okay,
want to allow
very
look at
good.
this ad?
You're thinking, well, it couldn't possibly be one more poop story, right?
Olivia Rodrigo, quote unquote, smelled fans wearing diapers in the front row. The thought occurred to me is like she might have, but also those just could have been normal fans, and that's just like a normal, really bad. Like, you never know.
I'll never understand this.
I don't know her. That's music, right?
Yeah. She's like a younger pop star. I'm not super familiar with her catalog, but she just released a new album.
Right, but that would probably be like mostly young girls, right? Are young girls wearing diapers at concerts?
I wouldn't understand why.
Well, apparently,
Well, I mean, I get the very weird and flawed logic of like, I don't want to miss a second of the concert, but it's like, please,
but you'll lose your spot at the very front of the stage, is apparently the thing.
just don't wear a diaper and go to the bathroom if you have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, it's good advice, but they're not going to take it. And that's right. That's right. It doesn't stop. It's just never-ending poop stories. I was so excited this week.
Boffins unveil talking Dalek toilet that can move, talk, and grind poo. But hang on before you scroll down. Who wrote this? Edward. Edward has apparently never watched the movie Wall-E. This is not a talking Dalek toilet.
Oh.
This is the Wall-E toilet. This
There it is.
It's literally. Did you watch Wall-E? The thing that people scooted around on the ship. That's what that is.
Oh yeah, they made reference to them pooping in there.
Yeah. This is for elderly people to give them a little bit.
If they can't make it in time.
It's a motorized chair that lets you go number 1 and 2.
And it's actually pretty impressive. It's got a water reservoir. It's got an automatic targeting bidet, which means there's a camera on your butthole, right?
Mm-hmm.
Got to be.
Yeah, is it unisex? You'd have to have a camera.
And a dryer.
Yeah, warm air dryer, and it automatically recharges and refills the water reservoir without you doing anything. You can summon it, and then you can send it back to refill itself. And it grinds the poop and airtight seals it, and your health worker doesn't have to touch the poop to empty it out. I don't know how that works exactly.
Probably like bags it in some way and then seals it, and then they just have to take the bag out.
We're living in the future.
We're pooping in the future.
Yeah, I don't hate this. Like for elderly care, I could see the use case there.
Well, why would you hate it? Oh, it's great.
I mean,
great product.
I don't know. I feel like if you're younger and you're able-bodied, it seems like you could just go to the toilet normally.
Well, yeah, that's the choice I'm going to make.
Yeah.
But, someday.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. When you're older, I could see that being useful.
Imagine how amazing they'll be by the time we get old enough to need those.
Yeah.
It'll just be a humanoid robot.
It's actually somebody, remotely piloting our weird little chair.
Just
macerating my poop.
It's going to have a bucket and some wet naps.
Ugh.
And it is World Cup. How hyped are you guys?
Oh, you know me. I love the World Cup. They still got the confetti on the yogurt.
Can you believe the big game that happened? I don't even know when they play these games, but people are excited about it. And there is one match in particular that will be coming up in Seattle. And this was random chance, or at least they're telling us this random chance, but I don't know. It is one of the best little coincidences you could hope for.
Iran and Egypt will meet uncomfortably in Seattle's World Cup Pride match.
Neither country particularly friendly to the LGBTQ crowd.
Neither country had a particularly easy time coming to visit the country either.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They were going to have the Iranian players stay in Mexico, but now that we're at peace, so you think they're going to let them stay here?
No. No. It's something. Israel did something and it's closed again.
Oh. Who could have
predicted that?
Saw that coming, yeah. And I missed another major sporting event. I did not see the White House UFC. I don't think it was free to watch, right?
No.
Like, if it's an America's celebration, why didn't we get to watch it for free?
Because this country's not about us.
That's true.
I rewatched Idiocracy instead.
But we did have one very interesting quote come out of that. Oh my goodness!
The pop-up ads, the animated ads, the giant banner ads. Can you get out of this
one?
one?
Have a close button. All right, I'm just going to reload it and then go in.
UFC fighter declares Michelle Obama is a man after winning match at the White House, and Joe Rogan was there, and he did not comment on that. The article is like, "Oh, there's that guy," and he named the. I don't. What is happening? What timeline is this?
Joan Rivers did this best. That was one of her best jokes, and she really went with it the entire time. But I don't. You know what? Whether or not Michelle Obama is a man, I don't think this guy has proof either way.
I don't think so either. What a weird thing. Do you think was there a polymarket bet on that?
How would you prove it?
No, not on her. I'm saying on him saying that.
That would be a very specific thing.
Yeah.
blog market. And we have, it's interesting that you let in with the whether or not we're at peace, because that's kind of what happened here. Some people were upset about something, and they sent, I believe she sent 4 or maybe 6 total emails. And the punishment for that, obviously, arrest.
Brighton woman acquitted on charge of persistent emails to cause annoyance to the Prime Minister and Foreign Minister and local MP about Israel's conduct in Gaza. She was arrested at 4:33 a.m. This was clearly not meant as an abuse. She was going to go to trial, and the prosecutor, there was only 2 emails that they said fit this, and she was going to go to trial, and at the last minute the Crown prosecutor added 4 more emails, but whoever the judge was that looked at this said nope and acquitted her, thankfully. I think she should go on the talk show circuit. We should invite her on here.
Oh, the Hollywood talk show circuit? I don't know if they're going to invite her.
Well, she can come on here and explain her experience, because oh my gosh, it seems horrifying at first blush. I would like to know the details, because apparently it's being suppressed. Like, if you go search to try to find details of this, there's nothing.
You won't find anything about that, but you will find a lot of stuff like this, which is just nonsensical reinventing of symbols and words, because everything has to be hate.
FIFA clears a World Cup referee accused of making a white supremacist gesture, the OK gesture, apparently. And then, like, you watch the video of this, and it's like, wow, this is the most nothing burger among nothing burgers.
He was just like, guys, I didn't realize. I think I was just reaching for a pen. He said, yeah, when I hold the pen, sometimes I use 2 fingers to grasp a thing. That's kind of the same thing, right? Amazing. And here is a feel-good story about enemies who found common ground.
Enemies to lovers.
Enemy lesbian nuns quit convent and marry each other. I feel like somebody needs to go get the screenplay rights ASAP.
Well, actually, I've seen several movies where this was the plot.
Oh, okay.
Was it a deep emotional drama?
No. You didn't get the joke at all, did
No,
you?
I got it.
Oh, right.
And the world is visiting the U.S. for these FIFA games. Do we host all of them now? Is it our year to do all of them?
I think maybe. I don't actually know.
World Cup? That's FIFA,
Sorry,
right?
Yeah, we're not World Cup fans.
And apparently, some people in the comments argue with this, but it seems like based on our Twitch chat, a lot of Europeans, they don't know about Mexican food. How do you not know about Mexican food? But apparently they also don't know about ranch dressing.
Please avoid chugging your ranch. TSA forced to issue warnings as foreign World Cup fans fall in love with American condiment.
I mean, it is delicious.
They said you can put your ranch dressing in your checked luggage, but you can't bring it in a carry-on. That's been my experience traveling a lot lately. Is my water bottle, like 9 times out of 10, they don't care if there's ice in the water bottle, but sometimes they're like, no, you have to empty it, and it's like, but it's ice, not water.
So there was an update to this. Kraft has now issued a special bottle that's small enough that you could take it back on the plane, so you can go and introduce ranch to your. Surely to God, they can buy ranch in Europe, right?
I've seen
the EU regulations won't let you have a food that fatty.
I've seen pictures online where it's like the American food section of a grocery store, like kind of like a foreign thing, but it'll have things like ranch and ketchup and hot dogs and.
You think they have Caesar dressing?
Maybe.
What dressings do we not have that they do? I want to find out.
That's a good question. If you're European or anywhere from the world and you eat salad, what do you put on it? And what are we missing out on?
And one thing that you can put your ranch on, now that you've discovered it, is the bugs.
Think you'd never eat bugs? Research says you might, and you may even like it. Before you read this article, like, no, just don't even bother. It wasn't that long ago that the economic conditions were so bad that people were eating shoe leather. I think bugs would be preferable to shoe leather. Is this a warning that things are going to be that bad economically once again? Not quite a century from the last time.
So the idea here is they would make a purely plant-based version of a thing, and then they would make a bug-based version of a thing, and they would blind taste test. And a lot of people, if they didn't know it was bugs, they preferred the bugs. I mean, look, if you reformat the bugs and it's delicious, I'll eat it. I'm not gonna, I eat shrimp.
Yeah, lobster, spiders of the sea.
Yeah, they're bugs. And things are going really bad in Africa, and they have a couple of big crises that are intersecting. And boy, does this sound terrible.
Ebola patients flee treatment centers in Congo as their food and hunger crisis is deepening.
There's no food at these treatment centers, or not enough to go around.
A couple of these treatment centers are basically at ground zero for the Ebola outbreak, and folks that should be in quarantine left because there was no food. Also learned that the world, what was it? The world, whatever the World
Health
Food Bank
Organization?
thing is,
Oh.
when they issue you the food credit thing, it's a 2-week pack. So they have a thing that is 2 weeks of food, and you have to prepare it and do some other stuff. But it's like, here's your meals. It's like, okay, here's 2 weeks of meals, which is a pretty good way to do it.
But how long is Ebola convalescence?
Like a long time.
Yeah. Right. And plus, a lot of those calories aren't sticking around in the gut, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're pooping those out. It's tough. Glad I don't have to deal with it. I hope I never do. And now the animal section. This is a story that we have seen a lot of accusations. They didn't have any pictures. You would think that this would come along with pictures, right? But the Chinese are saying that they have good evidence here.
China warned citizens of a quote-unquote secret war, claiming that foreign intelligence agencies are deploying spy turtles and spy fish. What are we spying on exactly?
This is like the spy dolphins that Russia has.
The seafloor
Allegedly.
and like the geography of the area. I guess you want to map that out.
I guess we're looking for crashed non-human intelligence spacecraft.
Maybe
Is that what we're looking for?
maybe data cables.
Data
Yeah, I
cables?
was gonna say, didn't we just have a data cable cut
Oh, right,
between?
data cables. Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, you did catch our sea turtles, but we're just trying to find the downed alien spacecraft. We don't care about your internet connection.
Now I realize that the cuteness factor is all that stands between an animal and me consuming it, but I don't care. I would stand against this. I would do anything I could to stop these people because it's wrong.
Police managed to rescue hundreds of cats from being eaten in Vietnam in bust of major animal theft ring.
Now you might be thinking, oh, well, okay, they're cats. They breed pretty rapidly. They're cheap to feed. Maybe they're just raising some cat meat. No, these were stolen house pets.
That makes it especially worse, I think.
And here's the darkest part of this. After they busted up the ring, there were some of the cats still in cages. You can see them here. And they invited people to come down. And so you had to go and hope that you could find your cat.
Oh, and if you didn't, it's a bad day.
Yeah. Luckily, I front loaded the bad stories. This one's kind of bad. But it's also a question of like, where the cops are like, well, we can't punish this person. But it's like, well, I don't know. I think this person's a danger.
Yeah. A Norfolk man has been bailed out of jail after a child thrown into crocodile pit. So this was a man with a learning disability that was on, visiting the zoo with their caregiver, and apparently unsupervised long enough that they just hucked a kid into the crocodile pit, and the kid fell on concrete and bounced into the water channel, and it startled the crocodile, who instinctively bit them, but then let go, like it weren't trying to eat them or anything.
Oh, I thought I thought the fall damage was the only damage they took.
No, it said that. It talked about the croc, but they're in stable but serious condition at the local hospital. The toddler is.
Also, do you feel like this croc is like really fat?
Yeah.
Is that the croc?
I think so. Yeah, because they got a picture of the cop there.
Yeah.
See if we can get another picture of him. Oh yeah, look, he's thick.
He's a big old boy.
Are they naturally that thick in the middle? Maybe that one's pregnant.
It's got a belly full of eggs. I don't know.
But watch your kids. You know what? You should never leave your kid unattended near crocodiles.
I mean,
think
they
that's
They might not have even had them unattended. Like they could have been standing right next to him, and the guy could have just been like.
I suppose. Yeah. Well, I guess hang on. Hold their hand.
This is a case for the leash kids, where you have the little backpack that leashes you to them.
And homeowners associations. Boy, do they have a bad reputation. One that will not be improved by this headline.
HOA votes to euthanize hundreds of federally protected geese in neighborhood. This is not the first time they've done it. You have to get a permit, but the permit is pretty easy to get. And it's because these geese are quote unquote a nuisance. The problem is the last time they did this, when the flock was euthanized, an entirely other different flock immediately moved in.
That's what got me.
Yeah.
It was like, what that tells me, right, is like, oh, unlimited geese. Let's start a goose food truck. Right? I mean,
It's a business idea.
Yeah.
Meals on Wheels Goose Edition.
You got an input cost of 0 there.
This reminds me, like one time I was looking at a campground like review, and this woman was upset because the lake, she was like, the lake is beautiful, but it's terrible because there's goose poop along the edges. And it's like, they live there. Like, you have a pond or like a lake, like geese are going to show up.
Did anybody tell her about bears in the woods?
Yeah, she's probably terrified of everything,
No, I mean, they poop there.
And who knows what's in her water she's drinking? You know what fish do in that?
And finally, a feel-good story. It's always hilarious when you see this to happen to an animal, but then you can feel good because it was rescued.
Bear wandering around with pipe stuck on head, rescued by conservation officers. The author of this, there's a picture of it. The author of this article said that was a stovepipe. I don't think so. The holes in the pipe mean that it was probably for drainage.
Yeah.
So this was some sort of drainage pipe, not a stovepipe.
Yeah, stovepipe. You would have smoke coming out everywhere.
They had to trank it, and then once they tranked it, it was easy to get the pipe off of it. But then they've got to get it somewhere safe before it wakes up.
They described tranking it like it went up a tree. Some guy was just like, you know what? I think I can get that off of that bear. And he tried to do it without any, official help. And it wasn't happening. The bear went up a tree. Then they tranked it up a tree. And they said it went to sleep in the tree. So they poked it with a stick till it fell.
Oh, he's going to be a little sore tomorrow.
He might have some injuries. He does look really skinny, right, for a bear.
Yeah, he's probably not been eating very well.
That fur is looking a little spotty.
Not great.
But I'm sure he'll bounce back. He's got all summer to fatten back out.
He'd be all right. He looks like he's pretty young. This is the time of year where like bears will start to leave their moms and like kind of start doing their own thing. And so a lot of times you'll see these little ones kind of wandering off. And
He's learned not to stick his head in a drainage.
Yeah.
Based on my cat's behavior, I would say that's probably not.
It's optimistic.
you think that they would just do that a second time if they thought there was something good in that pipe? All right, that was it. That was the last story. Tell us about your favorite salad dressings, and we'll see you next week.
Secret salad dressings
Yeah,
that we as
secret.
Americans might not know about.